This was way back when I was.
But I want to get the way back now, and then you can come on with later.
I'd enjoy getting over. His name was Oppert, Old Man Oppert. It was Joe Ellen's grandpa, her great-grandpa. It was Joe Ellen's great-grandpa.
I can remember them talking about Granny Oppert.
Yeah, I knew Granny Oppert.
Did you?
Well, it was her old man.
Now, is that on Tolly's side or
Dorothy's side? It was her mother. Was it her mother or grandmother? It was her grandmother. Her grandmother sort of had to raise her, because her mama died when she was little. Yeah. Well, what else do you remember about your childhood, your younger childhood?
Who did you sleep with at night? Did you have a room by yourself?
Well, us three girls had to sleep in that little just side room. Betsy and Peacey always slept together. And they always would put me to myself. I don't know whether I kicked or what I done, but they'd always put me in a bed to myself, and they slept together. I don't know. Well, I was close to them, but it seemed like they were a little closer together than me and Betsy, or me and Peacey.
Because you were the baby.
I was the baby, and I don't know.
You slept in the same room with them?
Yeah, same room.
Y'all tell ghost stories or anything at night?
You ever
get scared?
Yeah, we'd giggle sometimes.
Did you ever get up and go sleep with Granny Lizzie or Grandpa J.R.?
Oh, yes. Even after I was grown, and they'd bring people back there to bury. I'd make them put that coffee.
Well, tell about them
bringing.
Tell about them bringing them back to bury them.
They bring them to your house?
Yeah.
They'd lay out there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame you for not sleeping by yourself.
Aunt Rachel's youngest boy got drowned, and they brought him back there. I was the floor's strong. I don't know how old I was, 12 or 13, I reckon.
Sleeping.
But
You remember it pretty well?
Yes, I do. And I had to move that cot in for the longest in the bedroom of my mom and daddy. I was afraid. Yeah, they was out on the...
I'm glad that's not a practice that I used to bring folks back to the house.
I am too.
I want you to tell a couple of things. I want you to tell about Aunt Molly, and I want you to tell about learning to play the organ and all about it.
Okay, I can tell lots of little stories.
Tell all of those.
My sister Cora loved to show me out with singing. And she's the one that taught me, and that's the reason I reckon I can't teach you, Ken. I don't know how it was. It's just...
She just
and
don't know.
I don't know how she showed me. I can't even tell you.
But you tell about it and the organ, and you know how the organ, who got it and why and all that.
Let's see, who did get our organ?
No, I mean how you come to get it to start with.
Oh, my daddy bought the organ.
How much did you pay for it?
I can't remember.
Was it a lot?
Quite a bit back then, I imagine. And them old bases set on one on one side.
He used to have his liniment sitting up there sometimes.
On the mantle, he would.
That's something you can tell about too. Yeah. Grandpa's liniment.
Oh yeah.
And also, didn't he keep a bottle of whiskey all the time?
Camper. He always kept some whiskey out there close to the dairy, close to the old smokehouse, and he'd get it and make us a toddy sometimes. He called it a toddy. For whatever, a call, so we couldn't run to the doctor every time.
So he kept it buried?
Doctors to go to.
He kept it buried?
Yeah, in the smokehouse somewhere out there. I don't know where it was. He never would let us know where it was. But he'd get out there and get a little and fix it somewhere or another, and boy, it'd stop a call. They had to rely on old-time remedies. My daddy sure knows how to go to the woods and get bark. Yeah, off of trees and things.
Well, you remember that liniment he used to make?
Yeah, but I don't know how he made it.
I've never seen any like it after it or since. Did you ever remember that? It was white.
Yeah.
What did he make?
I've had him put it on me for sores.
What did it stink?
Ooh, it had a pungent odor.
Yeah, that camper's what made it have such a pungent.
But it had its own unique smell.
Oh, yeah.
It was concocted up by him.
What was liniment for, like for soreness and kind of like alcohol?
Like Bengay.
I can even remember putting it on me when I was little.
Remember that carbolic thing?
That's all they had to put on us for riding.
You had a lot of those in your
Oh, I had the most risings. I reckon that's where Ken gets it. In my growing up, I never will forget one time, all the back of one of my legs was full of risings. It was a blood deficiency somewhere, I don't know what it was. But I remember, my mama put something on them and
When you studied from school, you had to study by lamp, no?
we had the old lamps. I never did have to study with a firelight. I always had a lamp. And when I got on up in high school, we had the Aladdin lamps. They were just like electric lights. We had one that hung from the ceiling, and we also had one that sit like that fan there. And they had what was called mantles. They were just tedious little things, and you had to keep them.
It's kind of like a Coleman lantern nowadays.
Yeah, you had to keep them trimmed and fixed.
Yeah, it's.
But they were just like electricity. They were bright. They
You
were
ever
bright.
used a Coleman lantern? They're just like those mantles they put on.
Where do you do your studying? In the bedroom floor, or the kitchen table, or in front of the fire?
Yeah, all the places wherever there was a fire.
And didn't you say Betsy would always help you with your arithmetic?
Oh, she worked my arithmetic till I was in the 5th and 6th grade. If the teacher hadn't talked to my daddy and got me started, I never would have known no arithmetic. Because my daddy thought Betsy was a teacher. And she'd just sit down and do it for me. That was doing me a terrible injustice. And Celeste Foster, one of my teachers, just come down and she says, Uncle Bud says Bessie's working Ethel's arithmetic. I said, but Ethel ain't learning a thing on earth. Says, you're going to have to do something about
Well,
that.
your name, what was your name? Ethel or?
Etheline.
How do you spell that?
Ethlwen is what they named me. Etheline. And I'm so sorry now I took that off.
It wasn't E-T-H-E-L?
Ethelwen. Etheline. I wish I'd have kept that on. I thought it was silly back then.
We'll put it on now.
Now I love it. Etheline.
Etheline.
Kane always tried to get me to,
Oh, like Ethelyn. You know, kind of Ethelyn.
Etheline.
That's the way you pronounce it, Etheline.
Etheline, you could. But it weren't not Lynn, though. It was
Was
Lynn.
you a planned baby, or was you just
Ethel.
one that come along?
I don't know about that. I just don't know.
Was you a daddy's girl or a mama's girl?
Both. I love my
Did you
mama
like
and
the
my daddy.
inside or the outside?
I love both. I love to work on the inside and the outside. I sure did.
Neither one particular above the other.
Nope.
What about
I'd just rather get out and weed my flower bed, and back then I'd help Daddy in the garden, sold the garden.
You had a lot of fruit too around the yard. You had to keep
yes. There's an article here somewhere about Carrie, and I saw that picture the other day somewhere about. Said the Smiths had grown 33 vegetables.
I'm talking about when you were a kid in Grandpa Bolin's
Oh, my
yard.
goodness, my daddy
had all
had
kinds of
fruit
fruit.
and nuts of every description.
You have pomegranates.
Pomegranates, there was a sweet
I
and a
really-
sour
I kind of
pomegranate.
remember. Do I
And he even had a tree of them little things that were bitter.
Kumquats.
I didn't like them.
I've always liked them
I didn't
around
like
Christmas.
them.
Did they have